Hi everyone. In this video interview we're discussing resonances and the creation of the unconscious physical mind resonances that we or that unconsciously direct, control and influence our self-experience and so our behavior and living within and as our world and reality. Within the advent of the mind consciousness system integrating and manifesting into and as the human physical body, what would happen is, as the mind consciousness systems integrate and amalgamate into as and with the physical, it changed and altered the very design patterning of and as the physical body, as the very flesh and tissue and bone structure within as and of the human physical body. In that integration and amalgamation and fusion of systems into and as the human physical body, the systems would actually pattern themselves into and as the very human physical body. Those or such patterns of and as the systems that would integrate, amalgamate and fuse in becoming the human physical body would thus eventually be lived by and as self through and as the physical, where one would have particular specific patterns of behavior, mannerisms and experiences that would become self's primary personalities within oneself and one's world and reality, that would create one's total mind world of who self is towards others, the world, existence, etc. It is these or such systems that actually change the very structure of and as the human physical body that would manifest patterns, actually repattern the very nature or substance of and as the physical, that would create resonances. So the resonances come from the patterns that the systems created in the physical that self has lived within oneself and one's world and reality, where the patterns would, because they are patterned into as and with the physical and become a entity in itself, where, for example, let's say one take one's mind consciousness system and a particular system of the mind consciousness system that's manifested a habitual behavior pattern of, for example, resisting conflict, and one would thus throughout one's life continuously resist conflict, and eventually that application or system would integrate into and as a pattern within one's human physical body, and would actually repattern the very structural design of one's human physical body to the extent where one would actually live one's life in such a way to avoid conflict. And in living one's life in such a way as to avoid conflict, one create a resonance of avoiding conflict and literally resonate within oneself and one's world that point of avoiding conflict, and thus would create, manifest and design one's life experience within the context of avoiding conflict. And so one would thus have a life experience of avoiding conflict, which has the repercussions of avoiding people, avoiding situations, avoiding experiences, avoiding opportunities, just because of this resonance creation of and as avoiding conflict that self patterned into and as the human physical body through and as a system that self accepted and allowed itself to create, design and manifest. And so we have accepted and allowed ourselves to create resonances as part of the mind consciousness system through systems that patterned into the physical, changed the very structural, manifested substance design of and as the human physical body. And as we lived out that pattern through the physical, it became a resonance, as that pattern would resonate throughout one's human physical body, into one's world and one's reality, and so determine, control, and influence one's life experience in this world, in this reality.